You want me to tell you how to feel strong, how to be something in this world. I'll give it to you straight, like the streets gave it to me. You think you need to cry, to scream, to let the world see your pain, your struggle. You think that's strength, that's weakness. That's what the world wants. They want you vulnerable, bleeding out in the open, so they can feed on your misery. And you're giving it to them. Listen to me. Real power, real strength, it's in being cold. You shut it all off. Every feeling, every urge to show your weakness, it dies the second it rises. You bury it deep, so deep it never sees the light again. That's how you survive. That's how you win. You think life owes you something. A handout, a pat on the back for all the pain you've endured. Let me tell you something. The world don't care about your tears. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to care about your sob story when you're lying 6 feet under. You either stand on your own 2 feet, or you get buried by the weight of your own sorrow. I've seen men break. Hell, I've been one of them. I've lost more than most people ever will. But here I am, still breathing, still fighting. Because I learned the one truth no one tells you. Emotions are chains. They hold you down, keep you weak. You want to be strong. You want to be feared. You make the world think nothing touches you, that nothing gets inside your head. Be cold. Be ruthless. You cut the world before it has a chance to cut you. And don't think for a second that this path I'm telling you about is easy. It's lonely. It's dark. You'll feel like a ghost moving through the world, watching people laugh and cry, love and lose. But you'll be above it. You won't feel the way they do. And that's where your power lies. In not feeling, in not breaking. Let them see what they want to see. The calm, the control, the steel. Inside you can be falling apart, but no one ever knows. That's the trick. That's how you rise above. You let pain fuel you, but you never, ever let it show. You keep it hidden. You use it to harden yourself, to sharpen the edge you'll use to cut through this world. I didn't make it to where I am by crying about the shit I've been through. I made it by putting on a face the world couldn't read, by moving like a ghost through their bullshit and taking what I needed. No apologies. And you've got that choice now. You either learn to be like me, cold, unfeeling, or you break like everyone else. So next time you think about shedding a tear, showing that softness inside you, remember this. The world doesn't care about your pain, but they will respect your power. And power comes from control, from shutting down every emotion that makes you weak. It's a dark path, I know, but it's the only one that leads to survival. And trust me, in the end, survival's all that matters. You've got to understand something. Life's a street fight. Ain't no referee to call time out. No bell to signal the end of a round. It's just you and the next hit that's coming. You've already taken some. I can see it in your eyes. But here's the difference between you and me. I don't flinch anymore. I don't feel the hits. I just keep moving forward. Do you know why people fall apart? Because they let the world into their heads. They let every insult, every betrayal, every loss carve a hole in them. And once there's a hole, the world keeps digging, keeps breaking them down until there's nothing left but a pile of pieces. I'm telling you, you don't have to be that pile of pieces. You can be something more. You just have to stop giving a damn. That thing inside you, that voice telling you to care, to feel sorry for yourself, to show how hurt you are. That voice is your enemy. It's a trap. You shut it up, or it'll kill you. Trust me, it'll drag you down until you're looking up at everyone else, wondering how they got so far ahead while you're still stuck in the mud. But it's not them. It's you. It's always been you. You think being tough is about throwing punches? About fighting back when someone disrespects you? That's what they want you to think. They want you distracted, chasing the little battles while they win the war. The real fight is in here, in your head. That's where you win. And you win by controlling yourself, by controlling every single thought, every single emotion, until there's nothing left but ice in your veins, cold and sharp. That's the weapon you need to survive. Don't get me wrong. You're going to lose people. People you love. People who mean something to you. But the harsh truth is, everyone's temporary. We all end up in the dirt sooner or later. Some sooner than others. You can't let their losses turn you into something weak, into someone who cries about what could have been. That's not how it works. You know what happens when you lose people? You get harder. You get colder. And that's the only way forward. You take the pain and you turn it into steel. You don't let it break you. You don't let it show on your face. You don't let anyone think for a second that you're anything less than unbreakable. I've buried more than my share of ghosts, and every single one of them made me colder, harder to reach. But guess what? That's what's kept me alive. That's why I'm still standing. You think that's sad? Think that's lonely? Maybe. But it's the price you pay for power, for survival. And I'd rather be alone at the top, unfeeling and untouchable, than down in the dirt, surrounded by people who don't have the strength to survive. And make no mistake, the ones who cry, who break, they don't last. They're swallowed up by their own emotions, consumed by their own weaknesses, and they don't get remembered. They don't get to leave a mark. Do you want to be forgotten? Do you want to be just another name lost to time? Or do you want the world to remember you? Because the world only remembers the cold, the strong, the ones who rise above the pain and show nothing but strength. Simple, really. You've got two choices. Either you learn to be cold, to be untouchable, or you end up like the rest. Broken, forgotten, nothing but a memory in someone else's mind. And memories fade. Strength doesn't. I can see it in you, you know. That softness, that fear, that need to prove something to the world. But the truth is, the world doesn't give a damn about you proving anything. You're nothing to them. Just another face in the crowd. You think they care if you succeed or fail. Number. They care about what you can do for them, how they can use you, and once they've drained every last drop out of you, they'll discard you like yesterday's news. But if you're cold, if you're calculating, they'll never get the chance. You play the game smarter than them, harder than them. You use their emotions against them while keeping yours buried deep. That's how you stay ahead. That's how you win. I'm not here to tell you it's going to be easy. It's not. You'll want to break. You'll want to cry. But every time that urge rises, you crush it. You tell yourself you're better than that, stronger than that. Because once you start letting emotions in, they spread like a disease. And before you know it, you're weak, you're vulnerable, and the world chews you up, spits you out, and doesn't look back. So, stop caring about what people think. Stop caring about what they say. Shut it all down. Let the world burn around you. But keep that ice in your heart. It's the only way to survive. Trust me, I've been through the fire. And I came out the other side because I learned one thing. The strong never show emotion. You think loyalty means something, don't you? That the people around you will stand by your side through thick and thin. Let me break it to you. Loyalty is just a word people use when it benefits them. As long as they're getting something out of it, they'll stick around. But the moment things get hard, the moment you stop being useful to them, they'll drop you. They'll turn their backs and act like you never existed. So, you need to stop depending on people. They're temporary. Power is permanent. You don't need friends in this life. You need respect. You need fear. Fear is stronger than love. Stronger than any bond you think you've made. People act loyal out of fear. They don't betray you because they know the cost. But if you show them weakness, if you let them see you hurt, see you doubt yourself, they'll turn on you faster than you can blink. They'll sense blood in the water, and you'll be eaten alive. That's why you have to be untouchable. And don't mistake kindness for strength. Being nice to people won't get you respect. It'll get you used. You want people to respect you, to fear you, You show them what happens when they cross you. You keep them at a distance. Let them know you're not someone to be messed with. You can't afford to be soft in this world. Soft gets you killed. Hard keeps you alive. It's that simple. You see, there's no room for emotions in the world I live in. The moment you let feelings dictate your actions, you've already lost. You need to learn to separate yourself from that. Pain, grief, love, they're all distractions. The only thing you need to focus on is the game. And the game's about power. Who has it and who doesn't. And if you're not cold, if you're not focused, you'll lose. And losing means you get forgotten. You'll be standing in the shadows, watching the ones who were ruthless take everything you wanted, and they won't even remember your name. That's how it goes. So don't let yourself be one of them. You've got the chance to be different, to be stronger, but you have to let go of all that emotional crap weighing you down. Harden yourself, toughen up, because the world will try to break you, and you need to be ready for that. Be cold, always be cold. Be cold, be ruthless, because in the end, it's the only way you'll make it through this life with any kind of power. And power, my friend, is all that matters. And when you finally shut it all down, when you've buried every last emotion, every bit of weakness, you'll feel it. The cold. It'll be there, in your bones, in your soul. It'll guide you through every decision, every move you make. You'll stop caring about what people think, about what they expect of you. All that'll matter is winning. And when you start thinking like that, when you truly stop caring, that's when you'll become unstoppable. Nothing will faze you. Nothing will hurt you. You'll be above it all, looking down at a world that tried to break you and failed. But don't mistake this for a life without pain. Pain is always there, lingering in the shadows, waiting for a crack in your armor. But that's the thing. The pain isn't your enemy anymore. You've made peace with it. You've made it your companion. You carry it, not as a burden, but as a tool, a weapon. It sharpens you, keeps you cold, keeps you sharp. The pain, it's a reminder that you're still standing, still fighting, but it never breaks you. So the next time the world comes for you, when life hits you harder than you ever thought possible, you don't flinch, you don't cry, you don't let them see a single drop of weakness. You rise above it. You embrace the cold, because in the end, the strong never show emotion. They survive, they win, and they're remembered.
They think it's over. They think they won something. Nah, they haven't won a damn thing. They might be sitting up there on their high thrones, thinking they're safe, thinking they've buried me beneath their lies. lies and cheap victories. But let me tell you something. They haven't buried shit. I ain't the kind that stays down. They want me gone. But that's just wishful thinking. You can't kill what lives in the shadows. And you damn sure can't stop what's already coming for you. Let them laugh. Let them feel safe in their little castles of sand. They have no idea what's waiting. I'm not just coming back. I'm about to tear apart every piece of comfort they've built for themselves. I'll rip their world from under their feet. Every breath they take, every minute they think they're free, every pathetic thought that crosses their minds, it all belongs to me now. They just don't know it yet. It's funny, really, how they think power is something they hold in their hands, something they can control. They don't get it. Power ain't something you get. It's something you take. And when I take it, there won't be a damn thing left for them to hold on to. They think they've reached the top, like they've already won the game. But here's the thing. I make the rules. I always have. And now it's time for them to pay for every time they dared stand in my way. They thought they'd seen the worst of me. Nah, this was just the warm-up. Let them sit there, with their smug smiles and their worthless pride. Let them have that, 'cause it's all about to come crashing down. They think they know pain. They think they've suffered. They ain't even scratched the surface of what I'm about to unleash. I want them to know this. I ain't just taking back what's mine. I'm ripping it from their cold, dead hands. Every single thing they thought belonged to them. It's already mine. The land they stand on. Mine. The air they breathe. Mine. The power they clutch so tightly to their chests. That was mine the second they laid eyes on me. They can hold on to it for a little while longer. Sure. Let them enjoy it. Let them think they've got something special. But it's only a matter of time before I come knocking on their doors. And when I do, they won't even have time to scream before I tear everything they built to the ground. I'll burn their hopes, shred their dreams, and leave them gasping for mercy they'll never get. This is the part where they should be trembling. This is the part where they should start running. But nah, they're too blind, too stupid to see the end coming. They all won't run, and that's the mistake that'll cost them everything. Let me make this clear, for those who still think they've got a chance. They can't win. There ain't no victory for them, no matter what they tell themselves. I've been broken before. I've crawled through the dirt, tasted the filth of defeat. But here's the thing. They was made for this. This fight, this chaos, this bloodshed. It's where I thrive. It's where they fall. Every time I was knocked down, every time they thought I was finished, I was just biding my time, sharpening my blades, feeding the fire inside me. And now that fire's about to burn them alive, there's no running from it, no hiding. Every time they close their eyes, they'll see me. Every shadow they pass will whisper my name. Every breath they take will be a reminder that I'm coming. And I'm not stopping until I have taken everything. They like to pretend they're strong, that they're invincible. They sit in their palaces, surrounded by cowards who tell them what they want to hear. But it's all an illusion. They're nothing. And soon, they'll know what true power feels like when it crushes them under its weight. Let them squirm. Let them beg. I want them to. I want them to feel the cold grip of fear around their throats. I want them to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that they can't stop me. Because once I've taken back what's mine, they're going to see that they were never meant to stand at the top. That summit, it belongs to me. I've bled for it. I've killed for it. And I'll drag them, kicking and screaming, down to the abyss before I let them keep it. So, they better pray. They better find whatever God they believe in, and pray that I show mercy. But even if they do, it won't matter. He don't believe in mercy. Not for them. Not for anyone who stands in my way. There's only one path forward, and it's soaked in blood. No. Think they've beaten me. They think this is the end, but they don't know me. Not yet. I'll come for them in the dead of night. I'll rip apart their illusions, tear down their walls, burn their hopes to ashes. And when I'm done, when the dust settles and the blood dries, they'll see it clear as day. I was always going to win. I was always going to take what's mine. Let them think they've got time. Let them think they're safe. It won't change a damn thing. In the end, they all fall. Every single one of them. And I'll be standing there, looking down at the wreckage of their world, with my boot on their necks, knowing that I took everything. And when I take it, I won't be quiet about it. Remember, I want them to feel every bit of it. Every crack in their bones. Every scream that gets caught in their throats. I want to watch as their arrogance fades into terror. As they realize they've been living on borrowed time. They think I'm just another enemy, just another threat that'll fade into memory. idea what's coming. I'm not just their nightmare. I'm their end. They'll watch everything they built fall to pieces, and there won't be a damn thing they can do to stop it. They'll know what real power is when it crushes their chest and rips the air from their lungs. They will beg for mercy, and it'll make no difference. I won't listen. There's no stopping me now. They could have walked away, could have lived in the shadows, away from my reach, but they chose this. They chose to stand in my way, and now they'll pay for it. Every last one of them. And when it's over, when the dust settles and they lie broken, gasping for their last breaths, I'll stand over them. I'll look into their eyes and see the moment they realize the truth, that they never had a chance, that I was always destined to win. And as their last light fades, they'll know they were fools to ever think they could keep me from taking what's mine. They will be forgotten, and I will be eternal. There's no peace for them after this, no place to hide, no corner dark enough to escape me. When I take what's mine, it's not just about power or vengeance. It's about erasing everything they stood for. Their names will be forgotten, their legacies crushed beneath my feet, ground into the dirt where they belong. There will be no songs sung in their honor, no statues to commemorate their lives. They will be nothing but dust and echoes, and I will remain the one who rose from the darkness and claimed everything. This is my time. They can't stop it, can't change it, can't delay it. I will take what's mine. I will reach the summit, and they will fall, whether they like it or not. They should have known better. They should have understood that the moment they stood against me, their fate was sealed. Now there's no place for them in the world that's about to rise from the ashes. They will be the warning to others, a broken, twisted reminder of what happens when you cross me. I don't leave anything unfinished. I don't walk away until I've taken every last piece of what's owed to me. And they owe me. Blood, sweat, screams. It's all mine, and I'm going to collect. When I stand on that summit, and the world lies broken at my feet, they'll finally understand. This isn't just about power. This is about the natural order. The weak fall, and the strong rise. And I am the only one left standing. The top was never meant for them. It was always mine. Always. And I will drag them through hell to remind them who I am. I am their reckoning. I am their destruction, and they will never forget it. This is their future, carved in stone. They can fight it. They can scream and claw and beg. But it's already too late. I'm coming for them. And when I'm done, there'll be nothing left but echoes of their defeat. I'll take what's mine, and they can't stop me. You disgust me. Every breath you take, every moment you waste whining about how unfair life is, it's pathetic. You think the world owes you something. You think there's some cosmic scale waiting to balance out your weakness. Let me tell you something. There's no balance. No mercy, no handouts. The only thing this world owes you is suffering. And you've earned it every second you've wasted feeling sorry for yourself. Look at yourself. You're crawling, begging for scraps, acting like a victim because it's easier. You think you're the only one who's been dealt a rough hand. Everyone's got scars. Everyone's tasted blood in their mouth. But the difference is, some of us fight. Some of us don't stop at the pain. We let it feed us. You let it bury you. That's the difference. Where's your rage? Where's your fire? You think pain is something to cry about? No. Pain is your weapon. It's the only thing real in the hollow, disgusting world. Pain is the reminder that you're alive. So use it. Feel it. Let it tear through you. Let it burn you until there's nothing left but a raw, ruthless version of yourself that's ready to tear this world apart. They want you broken. They want you to stay down. Every single one of them. Your so-called friends. Your enemies. Everyone in this world. They're waiting for you to fail. Laughing behind your back. They think you're weak. A joke. They're already writing your story for you. Calling you a failure before you've even had the guts to prove them wrong. But here's where you spit in their faces. Here's where you stand up. Not because you're healed. Not because you're whole. But because you are more dangerous when you're broken. Pieces of you still sharp, cutting everything in your path. The broken don't mend. They evolve into something deadlier. So, evolve. Become what they fear. You can't afford to be soft. Not anymore. Soft is dead. Soft is nothing, to fade into the background of all the other nobodies who gave up because life slapped them in the face once too hard. You're more than that. At least you could be, if you decide right here, right now, to stand the hell up and show them who the hell you are. You've been waiting for someone to save you. There's no savior coming. There's no cavalry, no last-minute miracle. The only thing that's going to save you is you. So stop waiting. Stop hoping. Take everything. Rip it out of life's hands. Take what's yours and make them remember your name. Make them remember the fear they felt when they saw the beast that refused to die, refused to stop. Let the world hate you. Let them all doubt you. That's fuel. That's power. Every single one of their doubts, every sneer, every whisper of how you'll never make it, it's fuel for your fire. You don't prove them wrong by talking, by pleading for recognition. You prove them wrong by rising up, by standing tall when every bone in your body wants to break. I want you to hate them. Hate every person who doubted you, who spat on your dreams, who laughed at your pain. Let that hate push you forward. Let it fuel you like a storm. You are not a victim. You are not some fragile, broken thing. You are a goddamn monster, born in the fire, and it's time you start acting like it. You don't get to cry. You don't get to complain. Not anymore. Not ever again. Now is the time to rise, to burn, to make them wish they had never looked down on you, never doubted what you could become. Show them the nightmare that's been sleeping inside you all along. No more waiting, no more excuses. This is the moment where you either become nothing or you become a legend. Show them who you are. Still standing there like I owe you something. Like the world owes you something. Let me get something through your thick skull. You're owed nothing. Life doesn't care how much you've suffered. It doesn't care how many times you've been knocked down. Life will always kick you while you're down. That's the game. That's how it works. But you don't even want to fight back. You're too busy making excuses, too busy drowning in self-pity. I can see it in your eyes. The fear, the doubt, the weakness. You're so scared of failing that you don't even try. You'd rather stand in the shadows, cower in the dark, than face the reality that you might lose. You might fall, and that terrifies you, doesn't it? But here's the truth, and it's as ugly as it gets. You're already failing. Every day you don't fight, every second you waste hiding, you're losing. You're bleeding out and don't even know it. Life isn't some fairy tale where the hero magically gets what he deserves. Life is a battlefield, and you either kill or get killed. There is no middle ground. You want respect. You want power. You want them to fear your name. Then you better stop whining and start swinging. You think anyone's gonna hand that to you? You think you can just sit back and wait for life to get easier? It doesn't. It never will. The only thing that changes is whether or not you have the guts to stand up and fight for what's yours. But let's be honest, you don't, do you? You'd rather stay in your little comfort zone, waiting for the world to feel sorry for you. Newsflash. The world doesn't give a damn. There's always someone stronger, someone hungrier, someone willing to do whatever it takes, while you sit there, drowning in your own weakness. You think they won't tear you apart the moment you show them an ounce of vulnerability. They will. They'll shred you and leave nothing behind but your broken dreams. You want to be strong. You want to be feared. Then you need to become something more. Something unbreakable. Something relentless. You need to become the nightmare that keeps them awake at night. But that only happens when you stop pretending you're weak. You're not weak. Because life broke you. You're weak because you let it. Look at me. Look at me. Do you think I was always like this? Do you think I've never tasted defeat? Never felt the crushing weight of failure? I have. I've been buried in the darkest pits of despair, deeper than you could ever imagine. But I clawed my way out. I didn't cry about it. I didn't beg for mercy. I burned everything in my way until I stood on top of the ashes of those who doubted me. And that's what you need to do. You need to embrace the fire. Let it burn away your weakness, your hesitation, your excuses. No more waiting for the right moment. No more second-guessing yourself. There is no perfect time. There is only now. And you either seize it, or you watch as it slips away forever. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you're not ready, not strong enough, not good enough. But here's the reality. You'll never be ready. You'll never feel strong enough until you throw yourself into the fire and survive. That's the truth. You don't get strong by waiting. You get strong by fighting. You get strong by bleeding, by struggling, by pushing yourself past every limit you thought you had. You think strength is something you're born with. Numbers strength is built through pain, through sacrifice, through sheer, ruthless will. You have to be willing to bleed for it, willing to tear yourself apart and rebuild yourself into something stronger, something harder, something that refuses to break, no matter how many times it's shattered. That's the secret no one tells you. The greatest strength comes from being broken over and over again, until there's nothing left of your old self. Only then can you rise as something new, something unbreakable. But that's your choice. You can either stay broken, stay weak, stay nothing, or you can rise. You can decide right now to become the monster you were always meant to be. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the pain to go away. It won't. It never does. Pain is your companion now. Learn to love it. Learn to use it. Learn to let it fuel you. Every scar, every wound, every drop of blood you've shed, those are your badges of honor. Wear them. Show the world that you're not some fragile, breakable thing. Show them that you're the storm they should have never underestimated. You want them to respect you, to fear you, then make them regret every second they ever doubted you. Make them choke on their laughter. Make them beg for mercy when they realize the monster they helped create. You're not here to be liked. You're here to take everything, to conquer, to destroy every obstacle in your way. So what's it going to be? Will you stay down, broken, weak, or will you rise? Will you burn brighter than ever before and show the world what happens when they push you too far? This is your moment. This is the line in the sand. Either you step over it and become unstoppable, or you fade into nothingness like all the other cowards too scared to fight for what they deserve. But make no mistake, you will either become a legend or be forgotten. Choose now.
You cannot defeat a man who has walked through his worst nightmares and found his way back. For the man who has been tested by the universe's cruelty knows something most do not. He knows that pain is not the end. He has discovered that pain, like fire, can consume, but it can also purify. It strips away the unnecessary, burns away the fear, and leaves behind something far more resilient. This man does not seek pity for what he has endured. He does not wear his suffering as a badge to be admired. He wears it quietly, like armor, invisible to the eye, but impenetrable to anything the world might throw at him next. His scars are his, and his alone. They are not for show, not for sympathy, but for survival. Each one tells a story not of what has been lost, but of what has been overcome. You see, there is a kind of alchemy in pain. When a man is pushed beyond the edges of what he thought he could endure, something extraordinary happens. In that breaking, in that shattering of everything he once held dear, he finds not weakness but strength. Strength in knowing that he has survived, and in that survival he has grown. He has learned that the human spirit is not fragile. It bends, it aches, but it does not break, not truly. And so when you look at this man, you see someone who cannot be defeated, not because he is invulnerable, but because he knows that defeat is not in the fallen, it is in the staying down. He has been down more times than he can count, and yet he rises every time. Not with the same body, perhaps, not with the same innocence, but with something more, with knowledge, with resilience, with an understanding that pain is not an end, but a beginning. You cannot defeat a man who has endured the worst, for he has learned that the worst cannot break him. It can shape him, mold him, change him, but it cannot destroy him. His strength is not in the absence of pain, but in his refusal to be defined by it. There is no glory in his endurance, no celebration of the pain he has known. But there is a quiet power in it, a strength that others may not see, but that he feels in his bones. He has been tested and found whole, not because he never faltered, but because every time he did, he learned how to stand again. He is unbreakable, not because he cannot be hurt, but because he knows that no matter how deep the wound, no matter how great the loss, he will rise again. And in that rising, he proves that the human spirit, when tested, is not something that can be crushed. It is something that, when broken, only grows stronger. He is the unbreakable man, and in him there is a truth that cannot be denied. Pain is inevitable, suffering is unavoidable, but defeat is a choice. And he has chosen time and time again to rise.